Hey y'all, I just wanted to start out by saying my name is Jordan Ford. This is my first YouTube video, and I thought it would be a good idea to start out by doing a little factoid thing about me. So I have about 25 facts, um, questions that I'm going to answer, um, about me so you guys can get a better feel of who I am. Um, Question number one. What is the one thing I cannot live without? Um, Books. I can't live without books. I need a good book. I could go a month without the internet or my phone. As long as I have a good book, I'm set. Um, that being said, I read the 500-page book in 3 days. 3 or less days, actually. Um, Number two. The one thing most people don't know about me. Well, most of my friends know this, and considering I only have 3 friends, it's not a lot. But, people, when I tell them this, they're usually really surprised. I own, how many? 19, almost 20 goats. Um, but I don't live on a farm. So, yeah, it's a little weird. But I like it. They're fun. They're better than watching TV sometimes. Number three, one thing to do before I die. That's hard because there's actually a lot of things I want to do before I die. But I think I think skydiving would be on the top of the list. Something to do before I die. Number four, one food I can't live without. I don't particularly I can't talk. I don't really have a single food that I can't live without. Um, it's more like a certain type of food. It's really well, it's home cooked is something I can't live without. I love home cooked food. Even if it's just like cookies or sweets, as long as it's made from scratch, I'll love it. Number five, my quote to live by. Um, this is a fairly new quote by an author named Veronica Roth. It's from her book Divergent. It's part of the Dauntless Manifesto. The quote is, "We believe in bravery and the courage that drives one person to stand up for another." I'm very big on um, just not discriminating anyone, not trying not to judge. I know I judge. I try not to, but it happens. Um, just people that don't keep their opinions to themselves really bother me, and I will stand up for someone who is being bullied. Um, if I pay attention enough to actually see it. I am very ADD. I space out a lot. Number six, my likes and dislikes about YouTube. The thing I like the most is that YouTubers can put up videos about whatever the hell they want, and it's them, it's who they are, and that's all good. But what I don't like is that there are idiots out there who just put sorry, who put just really bad negative comments on people's videos, and it kills me to see that stuff. I mean, you're talking bad about something that this person really likes, that they're really into. You really have no right to talk bad like that. It's it's really, what are you doing with your life that you have nothing better to do than talk shit? Um, before I get too into this, number 7, my favorite song. Currently it is um, Hands of Hate by Ryan. Forgive me if I mess up your last name. Cassata? Cassata. Um, he is a female to male trans, and I love him. He is a great guy. I love his music. It's all really relevant. Um, it's just really great. It's not exactly my style, but the lyrics really hit home. So, speaking of style, number 8, what is my style? I don't really have a set style. I change a lot, but the thing I go back to the most is country. Um, I kind of grew up in a hick town where, everyone says hey y'all, and well, not everyone, but a majority of my family do. On one side of my family say hey y'all, and just typical country slang, really. Um, Number 9, pet peeves. My biggest pet peeve is just people who discriminate and are just like really blatantly mean. Um, they really, I mean, they have their right to their opinion and their right to freedom of speech, but to do all that to a point where you're causing someone else to feel bad about themselves is not okay. It's never okay. People like that cause other people to commit suicide, and that's really not okay. And suicide is a big deal for me. I have a friend who committed suicide. How many years ago was it? 2 or 3, I think. And it really hit me hard, and it's not okay, and I really don't like it. Um, so yeah. Number 10, my guilty pleasure. Um, YouTube. It's YouTube. Hands down, my guilty pleasure is YouTube. Um, I can be on YouTube all night and all day and all night again, and pretty much go without eating, actually, that I get so addicted. Um, my grandmother, I live with my grandparents, has to turn off my computer, or not really turn off, but force me to get off my computer and off my ass and actually do something. Number 11, my first pet. That would be Rommel. He was a boxer. He was brindle. He had uh, the black and brown pattern brindle over his body. He had black ears and a black muzzle. He was the ugliest thing I've ever seen, but he was he was so sweet, and I could do things with him that he wouldn't let anyone else do, and I felt very privileged, and I love him. I still love him even though he's gone. He was 13 when he died. I was 12 at the time, and I remember getting so upset over it that I threw up, and then because I threw up, my mom threw up because she's sensitive like that. Um, 12, advice for my younger self. Just to be more confident. I've never really been a confident person. It took me almost a full year to start my YouTube channel, but here I am, and I'm doing it, and I'm working on my confidence, and that's really to be continued. Number 13, if I could change my name. Um, my name right now is Jordan Elizabeth Ford. If I could change it, I would want to be called Basil Tiberius Ford. Um, just because I've secretly always wanted to be male. Men get way better, way more privilege than females do, and it's not okay. It's all people should be equal, and for some reason we're not, and I don't like that, and I want to change that, and I don't know how becoming a man would change that, but it would make me feel better as a person. So, yeah. Number 14, hardest I've ever laughed. This is actually really embarrassing. And my video is way too long for a first video, but I'm going to tell this one and then save the rest of the questions for another time. The hardest I've ever laughed was a couple years ago. My family and I went on a haunted trail at a place called the Wicked Our Woods. Um, and part of the trail was through a corn maze, and my grandmother on my dad's side had latched herself to me, and I knew this was coming. There was a man in a mask with a chainsaw, and he came out of the corn, and it was a jump scare basically. Um, and he, revved up his chainsaw, and my grandmother took off screaming, dragging me with her, and I tripped, and she fell with me, and we ended up rolling over top of each other through the corn, probably knocked out 5 rows of corn, with just us, and I was laughing so hard that I actually wet my pants. And the guy with the chainsaw was laughing so hard he had to put down the chainsaw to laugh at us before he could even think to help us up. So yeah, that was really embarrassing. But I actually have a lot more questions I want to answer, but this is way too long. So I guess I'll answer them in another video sometime later. Well, this is the introduction to my channel, introduction to me as a person. Um, I'm going to try to post regularly, at least once a week. If I don't, feel free to smack me because I really actually want to do this, just as a hobby because I really like YouTube and I'm inspired by a lot of people on YouTube. And I think the best chance to actually meet them is to start a YouTube and be part of the YouTube community and make friends, which I'm never very good at, but I can try and I will try, and yeah, I guess that's me. Um, what can be my outro? I don't know. I guess I'll just say goodbye. Bye bye, people. Love you. Don't discriminate. Be happy. Be brave. Be brave. Yeah. Bye.